are organizing as unruly children, and women, right, as unruly children, but then also, right, how it views like that these individuals can never be credible bearers of knowledge. Right? Oh, we got to do a study. We got to do this because what you're saying and like that lived experience actually is not a valid form of knowledge.
Not at all. We're women too, and that is one of the most under talked about components to how this works. Shut up and do your job.
Right.
Like, we are not that far removed from teachers having to leave their positions once they started showing, right, when they were pregnant.
Right.
We're not that far removed from putting in a contract like, yo, I get to get my job back after I have my child, because the assumption was after I have my child that I don't work anymore. Right? So we are dealing with, again, generations of misogyny, generations of women being looked at as someone you tell what to do, and that is not empowered in any of the spaces in which they occupy. And one of the things that, we have frank talk about, or I have frank talk about, with our union, is even if you don't believe in the social justice unionism that this leadership is pushing out, right? You should be clear about the fact that racism exists every time you drive up in North Lawndale and you dodging sinkholes.
Right.
Or you're looking at yellow tape from the night before, right? So you don't have to believe it, just be able to identify it because you're experiencing the impacts of it in your classroom. So the ability to connect dots from the macro to the micro is increasingly important, not just in what we're doing, but in movement in general. Like this whole discussion about climate change. Like, honestly, if we do get a revolution, that's the only way I think we're gonna get it. Right? Because you called us out. We on Amazon, we wearing Jordans, we because I have some on. But like, think about how tied to the thing that we resist, but we also like buy into. I actually think that the climate crisis is the thing that is going to get people to have to, because capitalism is killing itself.
Right.
So it's not necessarily us as like good people and actors and those who want to see something different. It's actually the crisis in itself that is going to like choke out capitalism. And those freaks are so like seduced and
I love the poetics of the language. Choke out, freaks, seduced. I need a drink.
I forgot what I was gonna say. But they are so into making their money that they can't even pay attention to the damage they're doing to their bag.
Right, or that they're actually creating the conditions, right? And we saw that with Lightfoot, right? You know what I mean? That part of it was like, how do I secure this position of power, by praying out.
But she didn't lie to us. I would tell you, people just don't listen well. People just don't listen well. Yo, she came to CTU and she said that Chicagoans can live within the means of what we have already. She said it. She said efficiencies. We have to first go through the budgets and figure out how to make it more efficient. When I hear that, I think black women are about to be laid off. Think about who works in like public governmental positions, right? And so I said, yo, I hear you, but I need you to also hear us. And this started early. It's like, we believe in big government, because in big government, women have jobs. And big government, black people can get to, a space of where they're sufficient and can take care of some things.